Hi, I'm Atiya. I work at Angan. Angan is a child protection organization, and we are concerned with strengthening child protection systems. We're concerned with strengthening formal as well as informal child protection systems because we think that all children everywhere have the right to be safe. And when we talk about safety, we really mean that they have the right to be in school, they have the right to have support of community and family, and that above all else, they should be safe from harms like child trafficking, child labor, child marriage, and exploitation. At Angan, where I work, we sort of our mission is really to say, let's make child protection everyone's business. And that's because children are everywhere, and child harm is also everywhere. Even in the most loving homes, children can get hurt. Even in the most, sort of privileged of homes, children can get hurt. So it really is, according to us, that children will only be safe really when all of us make it our responsibility. So it is, this is a great question to say, like, what can responsible citizens do? The first thing I would say is we need to understand that there is something that we can do, and that it is our business. It's not somebody else's business. We are parents, we're family members, we're neighbors, we're community members. So even in that context, there is so much that we can do. We're also consumers, we can demand more things. I think what we need to do as citizens is we really do need to create a demand for children's safety. There's not a single person on the planet who thinks that children should be harmed. Everybody thinks that children should be safe. And yet, in India, the child harm statistics are shocking. Like every half an hour, a child is sexually assaulted. Like what kind of a statistic is that? 100,000 children go missing, every year in India. 45% of those children probably end up being trafficked. So these are terrible statistics. So clearly there is something that we all do have to do, and we have to do it urgently. So I think the first thing I would say is, how do we as citizens really say that we will play a role in sort of advocating and lobbying and demanding that services, protective services, and access to those protective services is not something only that rich people or privileged people or people living in urban areas should have. How do we make sure that everybody, every child, the most vulnerable child in the most remote part of the country, can have access to that protective service? What is it that we can do? What is the demand that we can create for that? How can we reach out to people when we know somebody is in need of help? How do we support people who, for just a simple matter of making a complaint? Now, tomorrow, if you or I lost our phones, we could walk into a police station quite confidently. Okay, maybe we'd be a little nervous, but overall we'd have the sense that we can walk in and we can sort of ensure we know the law. We can ensure that a complaint will be made. Now, why is that not true everywhere else in the country? Why is that not true for everybody in the country? Why can a woman or a child not walk into a police station and be able to ask for help and expect to get that help? So I think it's something that we have to demand. So citizen action and citizen involvement really has to be about deciding what it is we want, deciding what is this sort of world that we want to live in, and what are the things that we expect of the services, of the government that we have, and what are the steps that we are willing to take. So the next time you see a child on the street corner, what is your response going to be? Are you going to stop and ask that child if that child needs help? Are you going to pick up the phone and call 1098 and stand there and wait until 1098 comes and talk to 1098 and talk to that child? It's going to take us getting involved. It's going to take us spending some time. It's going to take us putting a little effort into it. But imagine that you could actually save a child's life. I think that sort of effort would be worth it. And this, goes to all aspects. You think about schools. We're very concerned with schools and, the learning outcomes of our children. But why are schools not responsible for children's safety? We have to demand that. When we're parents, when we're members of PTAs, we have to demand that our schools have, sort of safety curriculum, that our schools have child protection policies, that our schools have, and not just the schools where your child and my child might go, but the schools where, the government schools, the village schools, the schools where the woman who comes to work in your house, where her child goes. Those are things that we can do. Those are not things that we have to wait for somebody else to do.